Okay. Hello. Hi, Libby. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Doing
Hi,
well.
aloha.
Aloha. Susan's in Hawaii. I am in New Jersey, and Libby is in Louisiana. So we are representing the United States of America from every end almost. So, welcome to this conversation. If you catch up with us later on a replay, please pop in and say hello. This will be streaming in multiple places. So we won't see all the comments as we go, but we will definitely go back and answer them as best as we can. And today, we thought we would really, having all been in this place, I'm the oldest of the three of us, so I was there first, but we've all been in this place of that perimenopause, that change in our body and what happens. And we wanted to talk about how those 10 pounds, today we'll talk about how those 10 pounds show up and don't want to go away, and what you could possibly be doing differently. What is a different way to approach menopause that might have you feel a little bit better about it. So before we jump into that, that's our conversation. I would love for Libby to introduce yourself if you could, and then Susan, and then we'll get it going. Yeah.
Hey there, my name is Libby Wright. I'm originally from Michigan, but I currently live in a beautiful little town in northern Louisiana. I am a health coach. I work with a variety of different people, especially people who've gotten really scary or hard chronic illness diagnoses and are feeling a little stuck or hopeless. And I also work with physicians who want to transition from traditional medicine to also incorporating some more functional or natural approaches to things. So, those are kind of my things I do. I'm happy to be here. I feel like there was I think it was like the hair clinic for men or something where they were like, I'm not only the owner, I'm a participant too. And I feel like that's going to be this for me. Because like I just turned 50 this month and wow, I got the double whammy of like living through COVID when perimenopause started. So I gained a little extra weight there with all the stress and hanging out at home and baking too much, right? And then going through that change. So I am like looking forward to doing this so much, not only from a perspective of getting to teach and collaborate with these lovely ladies, but also just because I'm interested to learn and want to understand how I can take care of myself better. And I also just want to say this is really exciting to have this collaboration. So I'm so excited we all get to do this. So thanks for jumping on. And I really want to just point out I work a lot with people with chronic illness, and I've recognized in this space of menopause a lot of times it makes our symptoms worse. It makes them more pronounced, and it also a lot of times people with chronic illness, you often just get brushed aside. Oh, it's just that. Oh, it's just this. Oh, just don't worry about it. Or you can't do anything about it. And so we also really want to make sure that we're talking, as we're chatting over the coming weeks, just also about how sometimes we realize we need to just pay special attention if we do have chronic conditions and not assume that it's always the chronic condition or always menopause. Maybe it's the two working in concert together. So that's my little shtick.
That's a great
And
point. Thank you.
I wanted to say it before I forgot because I also get some brain fog, right? So
Awesome. Thank you. Susan, would you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background?
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me okay? I decided to bring
Yeah.
you on my beach walk this morning. This is like my favorite place, happy place to be. And so I thought I'd bring you along for those of you that are far, far away. My
Thank
name
you.
is Susan Alden, and I'm a West Point graduate, which is interestingly enough how I met Libby through one of our West Point women classmates. I served in the Army and married someone who was a career Special Forces officer. So we landed here in Hawaii. We've been here about 18 years now and absolutely love it. And I too am a health coach. I've been teaching yoga and meditation and breath work for, gosh, about 20 years, really. Even longer if you count the time I started teaching in the Army back when that was not such a thing. Um, but I'm also a a certified Fast Like a Girl health coach. So over the past year, I have been training and doing some mentorship with Dr. Mindy Peltz and working with women specifically, really through all phases of life. But because I too am in those perimenopausal years, I am really focused on that because I think we are our own best teachers. And when we learn our bodies, we learn so much about things that can help other people. And so leading into that magic 10, that's where that magic 10 came in, because I was having a chat with someone I'm working with just yesterday, and she asked me, she said, well, how are you feeling through these perimenopausal journey, years? And I said, well, I feel pretty good because I'm doing all of these things. I'm doing the Fast Like a Girl and the Eat Like a Girl protocols and my yoga and meditation. And I've done some exercise shifts, which, by the way, ladies, for those of us who are athletes or were really used to working out one certain way years ago, let me tell you, it doesn't work quite the same. You need different exercise when you're this age. And that doesn't mean you don't exercise. We also need rest, but there's certain ways you should be exercising to make not only these menopausal years fantastic with a lot of vitality and energy, which I totally believe you can do, but also your postmenopausal years when you want to stay strong and energetic and have a clear mind. So all of that is important. But the magic 10 came in. I said, the thing that bothers me the most, and maybe this is really vain, but it's true, I'm just being honest, is I have this 10 pounds that I can't seem to get rid of it. And it kind of moves in different places, but it's 10 pounds. It's like 10 pounds. And she laughed. She's about 7 years older than me. And she laughed and she goes, oh girl, that is the magic 10 pounds. She's like, you go to bed one night, you wake up the next day and you're like 10 pounds heavier and you don't know where the heck it came from. And I was like, right? I'm like, I don't even remember. Like, it just seemed to happen. And she's like, that is menopause, my friend. That is perimenopause. Welcome to the club. And I was like, okay. so,
Yeah.
so we had a good chuckle about that. And it's a shift in thinking, but that's why I'm so happy to be collaborating with you ladies, because it is time for us to band together as these wise women and support each other and lift each other and share all of these tips and tricks and amazing wisdom that we've all collected through our years of training and experience and doing what we do. So I'm just honored to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Susan. And to go along with Libby and Susan, I'm honored to be here and to collaborate with these two ladies in their areas of expertise. If you're catching this and you've never seen any of us before, my name is Linda Downey. I am a functional health coach. That's the FDN practitioner there that you see. I'm a transformational health whole life coach, and I work with women primarily in the areas of stress and anxiety and overcoming past experiences that really maybe knocked them to their knees and they haven't been able to shift back out of that and create the life that they want. And sometimes menopause feels like that. Like, that's the thing that kind of knocks you to your knees. So we wanted to collaborate and have a series of lives with whoever wants to join us. We'd love to have you come. We'll be doing a couple more next week, and just really dig into, from each of our own personal areas, what we can bring to the table and to the conversation about this season of life and how to make it be perhaps the best season. Because I believe that's absolutely possible, that it can actually become the best season of your life, not like your 20s were and that's it, they're long gone. So that's who we are, and that's what the conversation's about. And really, I think, Susan, since you brought up that magic 10, which is what we titled today's conversation, what did you notice when you learned the protocol Fast Like a Girl and Eat Like a Girl? Like, what would you say, if you could give one or two really big differences that you were like, oh wow, I never heard that before, or something that would make a difference for people listening today?
Absolutely. Well, one thing is, I think we tend to not worry so much about tracking our cycle. Like, maybe we did that when we were trying to get pregnant or when we were younger. And what I've realized is it's important to kind of know your cycle. And if you haven't had it, if it's tricky to track, there's a way that you can do it, which we'll be sharing in the course. There's a way to track your cycle with the moon. And because we are all a part of nature, we are connected in such a powerful way, particularly as women. And so fasting according to your cycle. I'm somebody who I've been fasting on and off for years for different reasons, parasite cleanses and just health reasons. If you've ever fasted, you know, it gives you this lift and this brightness, and it helps you to detox. And being an Army veteran, there's a lot of stuff that I've needed to detox from. So I've always fasted. And sometimes prior to learning this information, I would feel really great throughout a fast and after a fast. And then sometimes I wouldn't. And now what I know now is that it matters when in your cycle you fast, and it matters how you fast. And I think number 3, it matters how you break a fast. So, and then fasting aside, there's a certain way to eat according to your cycle. And so one little tip, it's like we tend to, right before we get our cycle, crave carbs. And there's a reason for that. There's a very specific reason for that, which we'll talk about in this course. But if I could share one thing that you could take with you from this conversation, it would be when you're craving those carbs, think nature's carbs versus man-made carbs. I would say one of the biggest problems we all have with food is we're eating way too much processed food that we think is healthy. And, you know, it may say organic and non-GMO on there, but if you look at the ingredients, it's got a zillion ingredients. It's got seed oils and all these things. And guess what? That contributes to this magic 10, you know. So think nature's carbs, think your root vegetables. That's a wonderful time to eat all these tropical fruits that we love. So I think nature's carbs versus man-made carbs. If you can rip it out of a package, it's probably not that great for you, even if it says organic and non-GMO. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that, Susan. And I want to ask a little follow-up question here too, because I know fasting can seem a little bit like intimidating to some people if they've never done it before, or if they have like some unique health things where they're like, yeah, my doctor doesn't really want me fasting. I loved, and I just want to highlight this and ask a follow-up question. You mentioned that it's not just about fasting, it's also about what we eat at different times. So are you saying that even if someone can't fast, like a full fast, there's still ways they can benefit because there's different ways they can eat and different ways they can focus that can help them? Is that what you're saying?
absolutely. That's a great question. Lots of people are very nervous about fasting for various reasons. And so if you think about it, I like to go back to ancestral wisdom. Our ancestors did not eat all the time. They could not sit on their couch and dial up Uber Eats. they foraged for food. They hunted for food. So they really followed this natural cycle of finding food and eating food. And so there would naturally be a time of feast and famine. And actually, guess what? When they were foraging or hunting, they were getting all this exercise. And so we've gotten so sedentary and so used to these creature comforts of being able to eat anytime, being able to open the fridge, open the pantry, that is not natural. And so when I say fasting, it's really about getting back into your natural rhythms. That's what it's about. And so when we eat like a girl and fast like a girl and start tracking our cycle, it's really about getting in touch with you. And you are your best teacher. You're your best coach. I just think people, women in particular, going through this phase of life just need to be armed with some more information. So it's not about starving yourself. It's not about doing this, you don't jump right into a 3-day water fast or something like that. It's really about condensing your eating windows. And then when you're like, we have this joke in my house, it's like, kitchen's closed. Whenever we finish dinner and the dishes are clean, the kitchen's closed. So don't go back in there and get a snack at 9:30 at night. And I tell this even to my husband and my son. I'm like, are you really hungry? Are you just looking for something to do? Or are you just watching a movie so you think you have to be putting something in your mouth? And so that piece of wisdom goes for everybody, man or woman, kids.
Unless you're a 19-year-old bodybuilder who eats 24 hours a day, like Noah, my youngest.
Yeah.
He's eating constantly. But the rest of us, mere mortals, we need to like take a break, right?
Right, right.
I want to touch a moment on that point, Susan. It's such a good point about how we need to be aware of it's different throughout our cycle. So one thing I want to point out is even if you don't have a cycle anymore, from a nervous system perspective, which is kind of my lens that I look through dealing with women with stress and anxiety and healing the past, right? Getting a nervous system that's regulated and feels safe. The nervous system still lives on that cycle, even though you're not experiencing that change every month anymore. The nervous system for decades has been doing it that way. So it is still important if you're thinking like, oh, that doesn't apply to me, number one. And number two, just like Susan mentioned, you want to eat differently at different points of that cycle. Your nervous system is capable of it has different capacities at different points throughout the cycle. So you might also notice that, just like you noticed when Susan said, oh yeah, carbs. Yeah, I do have those days where I need carbs. You might also have noticed there are days that you have more capacity to handle things or more energy. And there are days where you just feel like I need to stop at 3 in the afternoon and put my feet up. I'm just tired. Or I don't have the mental capacity for these kinds of conversations. That's a real thing. And we want to honor that rather than diminish it like it's something wrong with women. you know, you want to honor that this is how we are designed. And when you get that design and you get the instruction manual, so to speak, for how to run the design the most effectively, that can change everything. And that's really what we wanted to make sure that you get. So Susan had mentioned a couple times in the program. So we're doing these lives and we're chatting to start to give you some insight into a program that we're going to be launching. I guess it's at the end of the month, right, ladies? Is that what we decided?
Yes.
So we'll have some opportunity to do these lives and answer questions. We're also going to run a free workshop where we're going to cover these things for free and give you some actionable information. And then if it sounds like I really want to dig in and make my experience and journey through this the most effective and powerful that I can, then we'll give you information about an actual course that we're going to be doing at the end of the month. So that's what we're excited about. Do either of you want to add anything to that?
Sure, I will. Yeah, I'm really, really excited to be a part of this team because what's unique about it is we are coming at this from a different perspective than a lot of other people. There's lots of people out there talking about menopause, which, first of all, I'm so excited about. Like when my grandmothers went through menopause, you talking about the change, it was all like whispers, like in the closet, you don't talk about it. So I love that we're bringing this and normalizing this as just like this is part of the human experience. This is part of life, right? So first of all, I think that the fact that we're having this conversation is huge. Then the fact that we are coming together at it from so many different angles. It's not just take some hormones or work out, do this workout with me. It's which those are great, by the way. But what I love about this unique approach is we're talking about how do we get in sync with the way we were naturally designed, and
Mm.
because that's so much more sustainable, right? Like anybody can do a weight loss plan or count their points or whatever, and maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. But what we're talking about is let's figure out as women in this phase of life what this means, who we're going to become, who we are, and really like looking at it from okay, yes, how do we eat, how do we move, what do we need to heal with, which is something Linda's going to be talking about in some future things, which I love. What do we want to become next? Because very often where our kids are, leaving the nest, we're changing our focus. And so this is so much more comprehensive than just a workout plan or just an eating plan or even just a emotional healing plan. This is really bringing things all together for our friends and people of our age who are just kind of going like, okay, what just happened? Yeah, I just graduated my youngest after teaching my homeschooling my kids for 27 years. That's a long time to, I mean, that's like a lifetime, right? Okay, now what? I was telling my kids, I'm like, I can't vacuum anymore. I got to go figure something else out to do. Like, I can't do this anymore, right? Like, I can't bake anymore. I'm going to weigh 800 pounds. I need to find some new things. I need a new purpose and a new way of seeing the world and doing things. And that's the big picture of what we really want to do here. So, we're going to have a few of these lives where we're having these great discussions. Then we're going to have the mini course where anyone can come in and enroll, and it's going to be a bit more formalized and a bit more educational. And then if you dip your toe in that water and you're like, oh, I love this, I want to be mentored by these ladies and walk alongside them because we all have different things to teach and learn. And and then you can, jump into the full-on course with us where the three of us will be collaborating in our evil genius clan. So that's it.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful points. Thank you. Anything else for you, Susan?
Well, I'll just add that I am so excited, and in working with you amazing ladies putting together this course, I think I wish I had this course when I was 20. I mean,
Yeah.
these are it's about lifestyle and learning this information and learning our bodies, our unique mind, body, and spirit. So just like you both said, we are coming at this from a truly holistic lens, and it's going to be fabulous. It's going to be life changing and life saving for some people. So, we joke about this magic 10, but there's far worse things. And I think there's lots of us who, whether it's our mothers, our aunties, our sisters, our dear friends, I think this is something I know this is something that is going to benefit everyone. And I look at all of us as this is part of our coming into our wise woman journey. When you learn something, you naturally share it. And so we are doing that together. And then as we bring together this collective of women who are going to take this course, they are all going to learn, and they're going to be able to share in their circles, in their ohana. And that is the really beautiful thing. We're creating this global sisterhood of wise women who feel good in their body, because menopause is not the end, it's the beginning of the next, maybe the most beautiful chapter of our lives. So that's what I'm here for, and I'm super excited about it.
Amen, sister. I believe it is a wonderful season. So we have a link. I'll be putting a link in. And again, if you are catching this later as a replay, you'll see the link in the comments. And the link is to the free workshop. It's all you have to do is register, because that's going to be more private on a Zoom call. And we want to make sure that you have that link to get on the call. And also, if you'll get the replays, and we want to be able to email those to you. So there is a link for the mini course that we will be having in just a week or so, a little bit more like the following week after next. But we'll be doing a couple more lives this week, and we will share that link every time. But please go ahead and look for it in the comments. Okay. And
Yes, and I
thank
do
you all.
just want to
Go ahead.
reiterate too, the mini course is free. No obligation, free. Just send your email to us so we can make sure we get you in the Zoom room. But this is our gift to you, is because we really want to help transform this space. So we want to bring you along for the ride. So there's no obligation, it's free. We just want to share what we've learned. And then if you want to do a more in-depth thing with us, you can definitely look into that too. So
Yeah, it's 3 days. It's not just like a one-time workshop for an hour. It's a 3-day event, so that we really can get a little bit deeper than just doing something like this. And then you have an opportunity to decide if you want even more. So that's the link that we're talking about. Thanks, Libby. Okay, so look please for our next live, which will be next week. And we'll have something else to discuss other than the Magic 10. And we will keep giving you the information about our free workshop the following week. Sound good?
yes, thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Thank
Can't
you,
wait to
Have a great
ladies.
day.
can't wait to have you all
Aloha.
here. Bye bye. Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha.